Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about good debt and bad debt. Okay, what's the difference? What to look out for, and what should we be getting? Okay, some people will say all debt's bad. I personally think it's good to carry a little bit of debt, not huge amounts of crippling debt, but yes, definitely it's not a bad thing to carry a little bit of debt. Let's start with bad debt. Okay, what do we want to look out for when it becomes to bad debt? What sort of debt should we be avoiding like the plague? Okay, to kick things off, let's start with credit cards. Okay, a lot of banks push credit cards on people, especially when you're sort of 18, 19. Oh, how about we give you a wee credit card there, give you a couple of $1,000. Don't read too much into it. Just sign up, and we'll sort you out with a wee credit card there, just in case of emergency. They'll throw that line at you, just in case. You never know. Which especially when you're a young bloke or a young lass, emergencies usually. Oh, need a couple of bucks to go down and buy a box of beers, or you're going out in town with the girls, or whatever you may be doing. That's not an emergency. So just watch that one, okay? Credit cards. Usually the interest rates are sort of the 18, 19, 20, even 21, 2%, which is horrific, especially when interest rates are so low. You got interest rates around 1.5% to 2.5% at the moment on mortgages, but on credit cards, still sort of sits around that 20% mark and doesn't really deviate, even if interest rates are as low as buggery, which they are now. Credit card interest still through the roof. So definitely be very careful and mindful around credit cards. The banks will soon give you one. The minute you have a job, credit cards coming your way. So if you do get one, always make sure that you pay that balance off at the end of every month. Okay, so you're not going to get slugged with that huge interest bill at the end of every month. So that's the big thing to look out for. Second one is car loans, okay? Car loans, car dealers, they're chronic for it. They'll say, yeah, come in, we'll stitch you up with a car here. Yeah, just sign a bit of paperwork, don't look too much at it. Interest will give you a good deal. It's only 9, 10% or something. Still horrific. It's still a lot of interest. And you're buying something that is depreciating in value, okay? So a car, you buy a car this year, you buy a car today, it costs you $10,000. Next week might only be worth 9.5, and then next year might only be worth 7. Next year after that might only be worth 6, and so 5 years from now, probably car's only worth maybe a quarter of what you paid for it, or give or take. That's all very sort of basic sort of stuff. Whereas if you let's say you ripped out and you bought yourself a property, you put down a 20% deposit, let's say, on the property. For argument's sake, let's say the house was $200,000. Okay. So you put down 20%, you put down 40 grand. Next year, the house might be worth 210, 220. Who knows? It doesn't always work that way. The property could also depreciate in value depending on what the market's doing at that particular time. So sort of be mindful of that. But general rule of thumb, the price of property goes up. It's a lot better debt to have, let's say, a mortgage attached to a property rather than debt attached to a car or debt attached to some bullshit credit card stuff you've been buying online. You've been buying clothes and new iPhones or something ridiculous. So definitely sort of watch out for those ones. Especially a lot of people sort of when they're young, they fall trapped to this credit cards. They're free money. I don't even worry about it. Swipe. Before you know it, you're up 10 grand's worth of debt. And, that could bury you for maybe 5 years or so before you actually sort of try and get that down and knock it over. So, yeah, definitely watch the credit card, guys. Can't stress that enough. Give them a pretty wide berth if you can. Just get a Visa debit. You've only spent money that you've got in there. It's a lot safer, and you don't have that temptation of like, oh, new iPhone 10's coming out. Maybe I'll just give it a wee tap and get myself a new iPhone 10. That novelty will wear off real quick. Give it a couple of days. You've played around with it. You've taken a couple of little selfies on it. After that, you don't have that same sort of feeling like, oh yeah, I got a new phone. Definitely be very mindful of that. That's pretty much all I've got today, guys. Watch those credit cards, watch your car loans, and you want to be buying things that appreciate in value. Let's say like property and companies on the stock market. This is a little bit more. Once you get a bit more experience, you just want to start doing this, but definitely be very mindful of that as well. That can sort of fluctuate a lot, especially at the moment with things going up and down. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. If you enjoyed today's video, give us a little thumbs up, be much appreciated. And if you want to see some more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below. Cheers, guys. We'll see you on the next video. See ya.